Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. Got a 2010 Chevrolet. It's a Malibu. It's got the big 3.5. I think it's a Malibu. I think it's what it is. But it's a Chevy. It's a 3.5. Money lights on. You're probably going to hear the AC machine in the background. I don't know. Probably sounds like a Mack truck driving through here. This camera will pick up some noises way off. Anyhow, it shouldn't have much longer. We have this note from this fella. I'll give you the cliff notes here. Dear sir, can you help me? The Chevy 10, oh, must be because 2010, won't pass the inspection. First time around, the garage told us the O2 sensors were the problem. They were replaced, drove it, went back again. The air pump was the problem. Replaced that. And when we returned for inspection, erased the codes and still would not pass. They told us to drive it. Well, we did, and still the codes won't erase. Went a third time, no! Exclamation point. So replaced another part. No such luck. We're at our wits' end. What's wrong? So we come to you for help. Need to diagnose the problem. Over. Parts replaced. O2 sensors, one front, two back. Air smog pump check valve. Air pump. Oh, check valve. Air cleaner check valve. Also, the third garage says maybe a fuse, question mark, dot, 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 hyphen. So now you know what I know. Has some new parts on it, and evidently the same old problem. Now I did see when I popped the hood that it did have a new air diverter check valve on the back. It looks like it has a new air pump. There is a new O2 sensor on it. I don't know if it's, you know, eBay, Amazon, or what they are. I can assume they are. But it sounds like he's had it at a few shops, so we'll have to kind of keep that all in mind. I've got the Altel in there. She's firing up over there. Let's have a look and see what code's in it. I'm assuming something with the air pump, and see what we can figure out. All right, we got the key on here. We're not going to do a full fault scan on this. We're just going to jump right into the engine controller. We'll enter here. We'll see what code it is. Probably should put a battery maintainer on it. See, we're down to 12 volts. Let's go to trouble codes. Maybe a 411 is my guess. Insufficient flow or something like that. Or a 2440. Secondary air injection system stuck off, check valve open. Well, that's interesting. I would have thought being system shut off, valve stuck open. Oh, all right. Well, that's kind of curious. Let's see where we're at in the drive cycle. Let me pop out of here. We're just going to jump into generic OBD2. If we had done a full system scan, it would have grabbed that for us, but these older ones communicate a little bit slower when you got that kind of time. I have to jump back on that other Chevy here in a minute. But let's just see where we're at drive cycle wise. Sometimes that's good to know, especially, you know, as a shop, we have to make our customer aware. Okay, so we have 3 incomplete monitors. Let me pop back there. We have 3 incomplete monitors, so that means we probably don't have evap, catalyst, and probably one of the O2s. Let's just see which ones we're missing, because those are all potential codes that could come back. Catalyst, O2, evap. So yeah, pretty much what I thought. So we'll save that for our records, just so we know. Because working for the general public, this is the kind of stuff that you have to do. It's called CYA, which means cover your hiney. So we're going to just go after the fault code at hand, which we have right now, this 2440, which based on the parts that the other shops here are heaving at it, I have to believe that, you know, that's the code, you know, they've been trying to go after. Okay. I tell you what, let me go finish this truck over here so that thing will quit beeping. We'll get a battery maintainer on this. We'll get a little bit of information too. 2440, what's it take to set it? What's the PCM seeing? Because obviously with all these parts they're throwing at it, somebody's missing something. And it's probably not just a fuse. I got that Chevy done. Had to talk to a customer, it took longer than I thought. I've got another appointment that's going to be showing up here. I haven't had a chance to look in service info yet, but let's just go, before we do that and before I get on to my other job, let's just jump in here and check some things out. Let's see if we hear the air pump running. Okay, interesting. And then let's see, okay, barometric pressure is 14.2. Barometric pressure on that 13.9, so what, 0.3, 0.28, so it's, you know, less than half a pound of variance there, which is pretty normal. Okay, so 15.2 psi, and that is deadheaded pressure. That valve is shut. All right, let's pop out of here. Let's see if we hear the solenoid. Just want to gather some data here. Stinking GM. I don't know why they put a timer on their tests. It's one of the things that makes working on their car line frustrating. One of many, but the fact that you can't do bidirectional controls and they put a restriction on everything. Well, let's go over here. Well, we know it's blowing pressure. Let's see. Sometimes you gotta cycle the key on these things. Yeah. Try again here, solenoid. Oh yeah, I hear it. Okay, so we hear our solenoid opening and closing, or we at least hear it clicking. And then that goes directly down somewhere. It's down there. Down. Goes down to the manifold. So it appears to just mount on the head. Big bracket goes down. Has a tube there. Let's do this. Oh. Well, that hose connection is not even that good. It's not even clicked on. You guys probably can't see it, but yeah, this hose connection's just sitting on there. It's not even clicked on. Doesn't even look like it has the ability to. It's probably some just crappy aftermarket solenoid would be my guess here. Let's do this. Being that it's not hooked up, let's just unhook it. Let me just get a piece of rubber hose, stick on that, see if the valve's opening and closing. There's a piece of rubber hose here. Just ones we use for flushing heater cores. See if I can just stick it on there enough to tell. Stick it in there a little bit. So right now I cannot blow through it. Try to turn it on here. I cannot blow through it. Huh, that's weird. I hear it clicking over here. I thought I heard clicking over here. I do. It's a Dorman. I see it's got the wings on it. But yeah, you cannot blow through that sucker. Fucking GMs, dude, I tell you what, I hate these cars. All right, calm down, Eric. So the pressure sensor, it works. Their tests are frustrating. So we gotta wait for this thing to time out and do its deal again here. But the code appears to be what it is. That either this is not opening or that it's severely plugged. But I would think if it was plugged when I opened it and I was blowing in it, you know, there's some volume of air. I would think that I would notice like, oh, okay, I can blow in it, but it, you know, it's kind of like blowing up a balloon. It goes easy, but then builds resistance. Just, you know, taking up this volume. Let's see if our test is working yet. Nope, we still gotta wait. I'm going to get a mirror or maybe I can see in there. I do see a little pintle, but I think we can see it clearer with a mirror, and we'll see if it's actually moving up and down. Let's see if I can see it anyway. Not so much you. Maybe from back here. Let me get a littler, smaller mirror here. All right, let's see here. Can I see better with that? Okay, I can. Okay, I can see something in there. Not so much an open-closed valve, but I can see the little pintle shaft that runs to it. If that's the proper word. Okay, we should be able to see movement on that. Let's see if it'll allow us to do the test. No, I do not see it moving, but I think I feel it click. I'm positive I'm feeling it clicking. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. So, how about this? How's about we verify what's happening back here? It is 5 wires, not 6 wires. And I have to assume we have 3 wires on the top and we have 2 wires on the bottom. I have to assume that those bottom 2 are the solenoid, and the top 2 are going to be the pressure sensor. We know the pressure sensor works. So let's do this. Let's just take a big fat guess here. Looks like a black wire, black with white, and a pink with black. I have to assume that these are the solenoid wires. Secondary air solenoid. When we turn it on, that should light up, and it does. So, therefore, the Dorman diverter valve is junk. Imagine that. That's all there is to it. The code is for that being stuck. Let's get, I don't know, let's not take it to the stupid level. I'm not going to try to open and close it with a power probe. We have power and ground here. Easily should open the solenoid. Terminals don't look spread like anybody's jamming anything in there. I can feel them with my needle when I was sticking that in there. And not to mention, I'm positive I feel this clicking. Of course, now we have to wait for our 60-second timeout because it's a junk GM. And at the end of the day, it's just crappy aftermarket parts. Imagine that. So let's see here. We know our pump builds, you know what, 1.5 pounds of pressure there, I guess it was. Of course, it's probably not going to let us do our test here. Yep, no, we can't do our test because we're in timeout. But what we can do, I guess this is it. This guy's going to be pretty gun shy. We're shop number 3 that's going to be telling him he needs the same parts he already has. Naturally, I'm not going to quote him on, you know, a garbage aftermarket Dorman part. Quote him on an OEM if they don't make it. I don't know. At that point, I don't know what to do if Dorman's the only one that makes one. Looks like that pisser's really buried down in there too. She's got a good pumper, so that's good. Yeah, like I say, the fitting doesn't even click on there. I mean, that thing's a piece of crap. And then, well, here, let's. I guess I'll screen share with you, and just I guess we can prove with the scan tool that it's not opening. But we also know now that it's not a restriction; that it's actually just a crappy valve. So if we go air pump relay, that's turning on the air pump, if you will, and blowing it into the valve, which it should not be blowing through because it should be off. And we should see pressure build up. And we do, 15.37. And then if we go into secondary air injection system, now this will turn the pump on, blow air, and open the valve. So we shouldn't see as much pressure down here, okay? So 15.38, exactly what we just saw. And we can see the solenoid command up here should turn on, and it does. So technically what that's doing, it's turning on the pump, it's blowing air and opening the valve, and therefore we shouldn't see that high pressure. We shouldn't see the same pressure that we were seeing when the system was deadheaded. There's going to be some pressure, some restriction, especially if the car's running. We've done other videos on this, particularly on the 4-cylinder GMs, showing this. So that's it. There's no sense in checking those 3 wires because that's the pressure sensor, and we know that's working. It's within a half a pound of barometric pressure, which is probably being read from the map sensor, wherever that is. Gotta have one somewhere. Yeah, right here under the intake, right up here on top of the intake, under these fuel lines is a map sensor. So key on, engine off, it compares manifold pressure or barometric pressure to barometric pressure, of those sensors. So very common to do that comparison. Usually the threshold is about a half a PSI. We'd have to look, but that's pretty standard procedure. And that's it. This is just verifying a faulty, crappy part. So I don't know if shop number 1, shop number 2, or shop number 3 guessed on that little guy. I think it was shop 1. I don't know if it was on the first time around or what, but nailed it. Just crappy part. So let me see what I can find and see if he's going to go back to shop 1, 2, or 3 to have it fixed, and go from there. So that's it, folks. Anstey Facebook, that's where we're at. I know it's not a repair video, but it is what it is. It's what rolls in. Roll into that comment section, baby. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.